The hardest part is using the wheel, she said. The most important components have to be thrown. By thrown, I knew she meant shaped on the wheel, not thrown across the room. Though with Alex, the two activities often went together. All right, boys, she said. Let's get to work. After a few hours rolling coils, my shoulders ached. My shirt stuck to my sweaty skin. When I closed my eyes, clay snakes flopped around on the backs of my eyelids. My only relief was getting up to change the station on the proprietor's little radio whenever Alex or TJ didn't like a song. TJ preferred martial music, but English radio had a shocking lack of marching band tunes. Alex's favorite songs ranged from Japanese anime, also in short supply on the AM/FM dial. Finally, they both settled on Duran Duran, for reasons I can't explain. From time to time, I brought Alex soft drinks from the proprietor's mini-fridge. Her favorite was Tizer, a sort of cherry soda with extra twang. I didn't like it, but Alex quickly got addicted. Her lips turned bright red like vampires, which I found both disturbing and strangely fascinating. Meanwhile, TJ ran back and forth between his slab cutting and the kiln, which he was heating up for an epic day of firing. He seemed to take special pleasure in poking pencil stub-sized dents in the slabs so they wouldn't crack when baked. He did this while humming, "Hungry like a wolf," which was not my favorite song, given my personal history. TJ seemed cheerful for a guy who had a duel scheduled with a 20-foot-tall stone giant in the morning. I decided not to remind him that if he died here in England, he would stay dead, no matter how friendly the locals were. I'd placed my work table as close as I could to Alex's wheel so I could talk to her. Usually I waited to ask her a question until she was centering a new lump of clay. With both her hands engaged, she was less likely to hit me. "Have you done this before?" I asked. "Made a pottery guy?" She glanced over, her face flecked with white porcelain. "Tried a few times. Nothing this big. But my family?" She bore down on the clay, molding it into a beehive-like cone. "Like Hrungnir said, we have the necessary skills." "Your family." I tried to imagine Loki sitting at a table, rolling clay snakes. "The Fieros." Alex shot me a wary look. "You really don't know? Never heard of Fiero ceramics?"
Should I have?"
She smiled, as if she found my ignorance refreshing. "If you knew something about cooking or home decor, maybe. It was a hot brand about 10 years ago. But that's fine. I'm not talking about the machine-made crap my dad sells anyway. I'm talking about my grandfather's art. He started the business when he emerged from Tlatelolco."
"Telatico?"
I tried to place the name.
"I'm guessing that's outside I-95?"
Alex laughed. "No reason you've heard of it. Tiny place in Mexico. These days, it's really just a subsection of Mexico City. According to my grandfather, our family has been making pottery there since before the Aztecs. Tlaxico used to be this super ancient culture." She pressed her thumbs into the center of her beehive, opening up the sides of the new pot. It seemed like magic to me the way she did it, shaping such a delicate and perfectly symmetrical vase with nothing but her strength and spin. The few times I'd tried to use the wheel, I'd nearly broken my fingers and managed to turn a lump of clay into a slightly uglier lump of clay. "Who knows what's true?" Alex continued. "These are just family stories, legends. But my abuelo took them seriously. When he moved to Boston, he kept doing things the old way, even if he was just making a plate or a cup. He'd create every piece by hand, with lots of pride and attention to detail."
"Blitzen would like that."
Alex sat back, regarding her pot. "Yeah, my granddad would have made a good dwarf. Then my dad took over the business and decided to go commercial. He sold out. He mass-produced lines of ceramic dishware, entered into the deals with home furnishing supply chains. He made millions before people started realizing the quality was going downhill." I recalled her father's bitter words in my dream. "You had so much potential. You understand the craft almost as well as your grandfather."
"He wanted you to carry